Hey everybody, Steven here, and today trying out the ZOA Pre Workout Energy Drink. This is the pineapple passion fruit. I've not been doing anything on this channel for almost a year and a half, 2 years now. Super busy, moved into a new house. I actually paired up with a chiropractor, so I'm in a new studio. And then I'm working on my tech YouTube channel as well. So I'm doing all those stuff while still training and doing everything else that I do. But I wanted to try this one out. I want to get back to doing a little bit more content on this channel, not just the supplement review stuff, but the movement stuff as well. Figured this was a good starting point. This is pretty popular. So ZOA has blown up. This is obviously Dwayne Johnson, the Rock's energy drink company. I've tried the regular one. They're pretty good. Somebody was asking me about it, and the way I said is like, it's almost like a Rockstar, but they put a little bit more in terms of the vitamins and minerals in it. And there's some other things in that as well that, makes it a slightly better Rockstar. The big thing with that is you're getting the caffeine out of it. And the same thing here, you're getting caffeine. So that one is 160 milligrams of caffeine. This one is 200. Big thing that I want to look at though is one, what's in it, right? Are those at levels that it would actually make a difference, right? Because a lot of times people in the industry, the supplement industry, because it's not FDA regulated, they're microdosing. Also, sometimes they're actually just putting, they call it like pixie dust, where they'll put a little bit of the ingredient, not the actual amount that they claim is in it, and then they'll put a bunch of like brown rice powder in it. So it's just filler. And then it turns out what they advertise is in it, it is, but it's like at 10% of what they're saying it is. And then last, obviously, taste. Is this tasty? Because if it's not, most people probably won't drink it. Let's look at the back here. So actually, let me crack this thing open first. Let me just tell you how it tastes. So 200 milligrams caffeine, pineapple passion fruit. That is crazy sweet in a good way. I like the flavor. I went with the pineapple. I think they have like grapefruit with grapefruit with something else, which I thought was going to be fruit punch because it's the red one. And they have one other one with that. The whole box here, we get 12. It was $40 off of Amazon. That's roughly $3.33 is what it comes out to per can here. Something else to gauge. These are ready to drink. What do other supplements cost that are ready to drinks like this? And then what are the ingredients that they have with this? So taste is good. If you don't want something that's pretty sweet, this may not be for you. I was worried it was going to be tart, but this is super sweet. Calories, 20 calories, vitamin C, 100%, vitamin D, 25%. These are the recommended daily values. So vitamin C, we have 90 milligrams, vitamin D, 5 micrograms, niacin, 16 milligrams, that's 100%, vitamin B6, 1.7 milligrams, 100%, folate, 400 micrograms, 100% there, vitamin B12, 6 micrograms, 250%, and then pantothenic acid, we have 10 milligrams, 200%, sodium, 125 milligrams, 5%, and then potassium, 60 milligrams, and that is 1%. I do like so the big thing here that I'm looking at is the potassium, the sodium. The thing that they don't have that I didn't see here that I would like to see in here is magnesium, because then we get all of our electrolytes. But this does have the sodium and potassium, so that's good with this. Low doses, which is typical with most, whether it's an like amino acid drink or if it's just going to be some type of caffeine or pre-workout drink. The big one here. So this is why they're calling this a pre-workout drink. So this gets down, and there is transparency, which I do like. This actually does show what is in it. So L-citrulline, we have 3 grams or 3,000 milligrams. That's a pretty decent dose. Other pre-workouts you're going to see anywhere from, it could be 3, that would be like the lower end, but usually you may see 5 or 6 grams, 5 or 6,000 milligrams with this. So 3,000 here, good middle of the road amount. Betaine, anhydrous. And so let me break this down a little bit too, because I think that's the other part. What does L-citrulline do? It's going to convert to nitric oxide in the body. It's going to help you with that pump, right? So with that, we're going to get that vasodilation. Typically, from what I've seen, is usually about the 1-2 gram mark is where we start seeing studies are showing that this is highly effective. Betaine anhydrous, 1,250 milligrams, so 1.25 grams. Betaine usually at about 1,000 is when we start seeing results with this, and that's going to help. So it's a methylator. So one, it's helping to get estrogen out of the liver, bad estrogen, and then it's also helping with endurance. So that's another thing. So you have more vasodilation, so the pump, right? And then we're having something that's going to help with recovery to a degree, but also letting you work out a little bit longer. Any of those effects, in my opinion, one, you have to be consistent, and two, it's not something that's going to blow your mind. So it's not something you go in there like, whoa, this is insane. I'm like literally going 2 hours and I was struggling in an hour with my workout. It will make a difference, but it's subtle. L-carnitine, L-tartrate, 500 milligrams, usually 500 to 1,000 milligrams is usually where I've seen studies. I'll try to put a link for the website that I typically use, and it just kind of lays a lot of this stuff out in terms of the amount of studies. Is there a good amount backing the claims for that particular molecule? Same thing here with these two. Anytime you see L, just think amino acid, but these are helping with endurance. Caffeine from green coffee extract, 190 milligrams. Now this says 200 milligrams, so my assumption is, we're going to jump down for a second, that this is either the extra 10 milligrams is either coming from the Goyasa leaf extract, which is 30 milligrams. That's caffeine, it has caffeine in it. You can actually just buy those drinks. Or it's coming from the Antioxidant Blend, which is extracts of green tea, white tea, apple, and grapeseed, and that's 100 milligrams. So maybe, I mean, either one of those. Like I said, Goyasa does have caffeine in it. So, but yeah, 190 milligrams there, and then Antioxidant Blend, like I mentioned, that one's 100 milligrams. Ginkgo biloba leaf extract, 60 milligrams. This is where I'm not a huge fan of what these companies do, because they put it in there. They're like, hey, ginkgo's in it. It's like, yeah, dude, 60 milligrams. Like most of the things with a supplement like that is going to be at a higher dose. Lower end stuff is like 500 milligrams. Most stuff you have to take 1,000 plus milligrams, meaning you have to take 1 gram plus for a good amount of time to notice a big difference. My assumption when they put stuff in here, one, they get to say, hey, look what's in there. And two, if they're trying to offset any of the negative side effects at a small level from whatever else they put in this, my assumption is potentially helping with the crash that you feel from caffeine. So that's my assumption with this. It's a low dose. If it was higher, like 200 milligrams, 300, I would have been like, all right, that makes a little bit more sense. You're kind of getting towards that 500 milligram mark. Because when I say that too, that's also what can you see that is now measurable with a study in terms of, hey, I took this dose, this was the outcome with this. Because unfortunately, a lot of times they'll, like I said, they'll put these low doses. And if I did a study and I was only taking 60 milligrams, like of anything, that's such a low dose. Like, dude, I could have just been having a good day. You could have the placebo effect, very measurable, right? Having a bigger upside than the Ginkgo at that point. So maybe it's almost like partly that. They're like, hey, Ginkgo's in it. And you're like, yeah, Ginkgo's going to help me. Not 60 milligrams. So maybe a combination of that, or like I said, offsetting any of the crash side effects that you may get from the caffeine with this or whatever else they have in there. And then the Goyasa leaf extract, that's the 30 milligrams. Again, caffeine is in that. My assumption is that's where we're probably making up that extra 10 milligrams. Because on the front of this, it says 200 milligrams of natural caffeine. So looking at this, I think in terms of the L-citrulline, the betaine, the L-carnitine, L-tartrate, and the caffeine, if you're just looking at it from that, it's a pretty solid drink. I think the taste, just from the sip that I had, I'll do another one. By the way, when you drink this, you can smell the pineapple. And it's sweet pineapple, so it's not tart pineapple. I think it tastes really good too. Low calories. I think if I'm just looking at that, this is a pretty middle of the road solid product. You can't go wrong with it. Yeah, it has the vitamins and minerals in it. I like seeing that. That is, again, going to offset anything, because caffeine is going to especially if it's a water-soluble vitamin, I'm going to excrete that, right? I'm going to get the vasodilation. My veins and capillaries are going to expand. And then I'm going to, essentially, because it's a diuretic, I'm going to pee out extra vitamins and minerals that are water-soluble with this. And they're putting that in there that offsets that. So I do like seeing that. So, like I said, pretty middle of the road. Taste is good. Middle of the road for the supplement stuff. Especially maybe if you don't want to go as high level and as intense as some of those other drinks are, where you do have like 6,000 milligrams, 6 grams of the citrulline, L-citrulline, like that wrecks my stomach. That was part of the appeal with this. Higher levels of betaine. I've had some that have like 2 grams, 2,000 milligrams. That's too much. It forces everything out of my body. I'll say it that way. So my hope is with this, and this is like a tester for me, by the way, because just drinking this right now, I'm going to have some of this, but then tomorrow, early in the morning, I got to go to the gym, and I'm hoping this is going to kind of kick me into high gear before I go to the gym at 5:30 in the morning. So looking at the other ingredients, pretty standard: carbonated water, citric acid, natural flavors. What does that mean, right? Usually it means it's a molecule. They've actually just put chemicals in here that taste natural, right? Or they've extracted those is what I should say. They've extracted that, so it's still a natural thing, but it's not like they actually got pineapple and put it in here. It's just they've gotten a molecule that makes it taste like that, put it in here. Beta carotene, that's for the color. I like seeing that instead of a color dye. Awesome there. Sucralose, that's why this is sweet. Big thing with sucralose is it will cause an insulin spike, so keep that in mind. So it's not like stevia where there's zero glycemic index or load with that. So you're not getting any spike in insulin with stevia. But stevia doesn't always agree with everybody's stomach also, so that I know why they do that. But hopefully down the road, maybe we get a stevia option with this. And then a sulfame potassium, that is just to keep this fresh. So that's actually it. Like I said, good middle of the road energy drink. It comes with a higher price tag, and that's because The Rock has his name attached to it, and it's obviously his product. So he's formulated this with his ex-wife's husband. I always forget the guy's name. I know Danny's his ex-wife, but it's him. I may be getting that wrong, but it's him. Yeah, he's a bodybuilder. He's been a strength conditioning coach for a long time now, and so he formulated this with him. And I think he's got some good stuff in it. So definitely worth a try is what I would say with this. So I'm going to have a link for this in the description. If you guys have any questions about this, definitely let me know in the comment section. Like I said, I'm going to be pumping out more videos here soon. There's some movement stuff I want to do. Potentially looking at another course. I don't know if I'll do it on Udemy, maybe do it on here. I don't know. But there's some stuff that I want to pump out for the movement side as well. So that's going to be it for this one. I'll have a link for this in the description if you want to pick it up. Like I said, they have other flavors as well. If you guys like the video, hit the like button for me. If you want to continue to follow along with all my content, hit the subscribe button for me. And as always, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.